Hello dear friends. Eventually, the director of the tea factory in Xishan persuaded us to stay for tea, and we could not refuse this wonderful offer. So we stayed a bit longer, drank some tea and had a chat, and bought one type of green tea that I really liked. They have their own type of green tea, although the specialist told me that it's similar to the one from Moychay. However, I still think that it's a bit different, even visually, due to the fact that the soil and climate are different. The tea has its own taste, which is great, so we'll have a special type of green tea. But the most interesting part is that we agreed on making tea to order, which I love to do, and produce it in many factories. We'll experiment. We'll start with Shai King, Puer. Maybe we'll try to make white tea, or even Pu'er, and many more. We have a pretty long road ahead. It turned out to be a very useful trip. Look how beautiful these peaks are. I compare them to Guilin or Yinshan. In fact, the owner of the factory took up his position not long ago, and he really wants to build a resort place here, for people to come here and have a great time. On one hand, it can be inconvenient for people who just want to see the place, without spending much money and seeing crowds of tourists. But on the other hand, it's very healthy for the popularization and development of tea business, so that local peasants will feel even better, because he employs thousands of people, which means that there are several villages that work for the company, similar to Dali in Yunnan, where we have good friends that own huge tea gardens, and many other factories that operate on such systems, where dozens of thousands of tea fields belong to the same company. And this company provides workplaces for several villages, or even plantations. Plantations have different sizes. Here it's only the beginning of the development. I think in a few years everything will be more organized. We're glad we got here at the right time. In fact, we're the first foreigners to come here. No one was here before us, apart from Hong Kong, Macau and Singapore customers. Therefore we'll cooperate. I'm glad that they put a lot of emphasis on environmental friendliness. I remember him sending me a photo of a super organic new fertilizer, one bottle of which cost 250 yuan. They also buy these yellow tools, which are very popular in many plantations. They're approximately 10 years old. In addition to that, they're using electrical bird scares and other popular equipment, because everyone wants to work abroad. Everyone wants to sell a lot of tea, without having problems with environmental friendliness. I think they should be more open-minded. The more control the manufacturer has over the plantation, the better subordination will be from the peasants. It's good because they will actually do the work they're supposed to do, because they have no choice. Let's go further. We still have a very long road ahead. Now we'll drive 50 kilometers deeper into Yinshan and Yunnan, where we'll show you an interesting factory. It's a bit noisy here. Sorry about that. I'll try to speak louder. We've arrived in the northeast of Yinshan, which is quite a distant region. There's a total of 3 days driving, because currently we're choosing the back roads. We're now in the village where Bilochin tea is made, together with another interesting bamboo tea type, which is mainly produced in Yunnan. With me here I have a technician, the owner of a small farm factory, which produces tea inside the bamboo. An interesting fact is that it's also being made in other regions of Yunnan. But there's one peculiarity here. that besides the traditional Yunnan Puer tea, red tea and Hongjin tea are also being made. Hongjin is like a semi-red type of tea. Here we have aged shipments of tea and bamboo from last year. It's made using very interesting technology, very similar to the one in the video I made when we were in the mountains. The difference here is that there is a machine that heats up the bamboo. We don't see it here, because they didn't have any orders in this year. But luckily they have a good amount of 3 types of tea. Here we have Hongjin, Puer, and red tea. It'll be limited, but I've tried each of them. It's very delicious and not pricey, because the raw materials used are simple. But due to the good technologies and experienced people, the results are great. I personally liked all 3 types of tea. Again, you can hear the noise of the machines. Yunnan is being made here. We're lucky because we managed to get a bag of Yunnan, which was made in March, from the very first harvest. And it's very sweet. I liked it a lot, even more than the one we bought last year, in the south of Yunnan. The price was higher, but still reasonable. Very delicious green tea. We'll only have 50 kilograms of it. That was quite a discovery today. I remember bringing a sample from Yiwu of baked Shen, which many people liked. This one has quite a similar taste, even though the raw materials are a bit simpler. The plus is that the price is lower. I would call it budget, but very delicious tea. We're again approaching the Vietnam border. We're entering a place called Malipo. There are several villages that are protecting ancient tea trees. So we need to get to the nearest place to stop. And tomorrow we'll go to the mountains to get some tea. Look how beautiful it is along the road. Such an incredible combination of mountains. There are a lot of different small ethnic minorities. For example, Miao, which is actively represented here. When you pass the village, you can see that all the women wear traditional clothes, especially the elderly. The atmosphere here is very Yunnan-like. I've never been to this part of Yunnan, and it feels like back in Yunnan. But at the same time, you're in an absolutely different place. Everything is different. The ideology, the very beautiful mountains. The tea villages are located about 2,000 meters above sea level. So it's quite fresh here. The weather's not hot. So we'll have an interesting journey ahead. We just drove under the bridge and crossed the track. Look how beautiful it is out there. We're a bit tired because of the non-stop work every day, getting up early, arriving late. I'm hoping to get to the hotel earlier and get a good amount of sleep. Look how beautiful this peak we found on the way is. I'm finding places of indescribable beauty which few people know about. We'll continue finding similar places. Unbelievably beautiful. We checked in a really nice hotel. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to get to the capital, so we decided to check in here for 60 yuan, which is 600 rubles. We'll go and eat.
За 60 юаней. 600 рублей. Вот, сейчас пойдем покушаем.
哎呀，一斤两的鸡，两个晚上这不吃啥。
凉拌黄瓜，
凉拌黄瓜，
可以西红柿炒豆腐。
西红柿炒豆腐。